Have a look at my review of Top Gun Maverick, directed by Joseph Kosinski from 2022. Yes, we are back once again ready to discuss another film on the channel. This time around, we're going straight in with Top Gun Maverick. This is a film I did say that I rewatched very recently, a few weeks ago, and yeah, really looking forward to discussing this film today on the channel. But first of all, there will be a spoiler warning for this discussion. If you haven't seen this film, I simply recommend seeing it first, and then come back to this video, and we can go from there. We can talk about this from the comments, and of course, celebrate cinema. So yes, with all that said, let's discuss my thoughts on this film, and yeah, what a film this is. This is something truly, truly special for me. And, I did see this for the second time, recently. And I saw it, originally, 2023, kind of January time. And, I was blown away by this film and, made it onto kind of my favourite films list of, 2022 and also just of all time. And, I did just immediately kind of take to this film so much. And, I think the first film I do really like, the characters, the whole kind of tone of it. There's some things about the first that I could never, kind of fully get immersed in. I think that's some of the stuff is the flights, sequences, and I just think the way it's edited, put together, it's quite confusing to me, and not really something I can focus on all the time. And just a few things within that narrative that could have been a bit better for me. But overall, I really enjoyed the first film, and I thought it'd be interesting to see how this one compared to that one, and how they would, what they would do with the characters and how they would advance the story, and set obviously 36 years after it would be completely different. But I was really hyped to see this film, and yeah, it completely took me by surprise. It certainly exceeded my expectations, and I was just, as I say, completely blown away by this one. And this film builds on the first in such a way, and I think it's just really quite stunning, and I think as well, just being really unique in its own right, and just its own kind of thing, and very, very different to the first film, completely different tone, but it does manage to kind of take certain characters and aspects of the narrative in that film, and really run with it here, and use those kind of emotions and build on them, and set all these years on, something that really deals with the first in a kind of melancholic way at times, but also in a hopeful way. And I just think it's such an uplifting film, this feel-good, kind of jolly blockbuster, very kind of intense at times, really intense sequences, with the flight sequences, kind of final act, where of course the mission is really, kind of fully kind of enacted there, and they go to behind enemy lines kind of thing, and it's so intense, kind of unexpected as well, the fact that they kind of get out of the kind of jets at that point, and they're on the ground level and getting shot at by kind of helicopters, of course, gunships. It's all this kind of stuff I never thought I'd see in the film, but it was just so kind of authentic, and just the way the action is done in this film, and how kind of pieces are built upon each other, and kind of layered and stacked, and I think it's just so stunning to behold this as an action film, as a kind of feel-good kind of return to this world, this universe, of course, of the first film, and just how invested this film is. I think seeing it for a second time round, I love this film even more than the first time round, and I think this is truly one of the best, one of the very, very best, modern blockbusters that I've seen, and it's such a kind of important film actually as well, with Tom Cruise, and just bring back the kind of modern blockbuster in a certain way, and it grossed almost 1.5 billion really, and it was the second highest grossing film obviously of 2022, and it really is something that's just kind of really great to see, and just as well, a blockbuster that's just really feel good, just trying to entertain, and kind of through audiences. And this is just such an event film, and with a very, very simple plot, which is great to see. I really love this in a film like this. This big epic blockbuster, kind of film. I like to see a very simple, easy to follow plot, and one that I can get fully engaged in, and you can see clearly visually, how, for example, as well, this whole kind of mission, how it's being shown to all the different characters and to us as an audience, and how they're planning this mission, and they're practicing, of course, and just how Maverick himself is the one that trains up these young Top Gun graduates, for this mission, and I think from the get-go it's just so enjoyable. Have a kind of prologue-esque, kind of couple of sequences, and then we're onto the kind of all these interactions. John Hamm in the film is great as well, kind of the friction, between him and Tom Cruise, is great, and I think the performances across the board, really are something else, and I think just the way the narrative unfolds here, it's kind of got these, campy, feel-good moments at first, and then it's, really becomes quite intense at times, throughout, and I think as well, it's this kind of melancholic play as well, as I say, on the first film. But yeah, overall so investing with the plot, with the characters, the balance of this, and just setting up this kind of new tone in a sense, but also playing on the previous film, and being so sincere and kind of authentic in how it's doing that, but also being its own completely new film, and I think it's just so investing, this plot, and very simply just trying to destroy this uranium kind of plant. And I just love the build up to this so much, and how we have loads of different characters saying, you know, it can't be done, this whole kind of mission, and you know, within a time frame, because, you know, it's so kind of tight, and then all the defense systems and everything, you know, when they did get out of the valley and all this, they would be shot down, and it would be basically a no return mission. And we have, of course, Maverick kind of contesting that and saying, you know, he can do this, and he wants to do this, so everyone can come home, kind of thing. And you know, that is the driving force really of the film. You know, can he do this? Can he train up these young Top Gun graduates, you know, to kind of be able to do this successfully and actually return home after, you know, they've destroyed this plant? And you know, I think that is just so well done, and we've got this sense of humanity, and you know, coming through. And you know, I think John Hamm is, you know, the back and forth between him and Tom Cruise in this film was so well done. And I think with Tom Cruise in this film, just as always, you know, he commands the screen, and you know, I think what he's doing with this character, you know, he's tapping into the real humanity of this character. And you know, I think just the performance throughout this entire film, you know, I thought was masterful. You know, I thought it was so good in this film, just unbelievable. Just his interactions with every character in the film, really, and you know, especially with Jennifer Connelly playing Penny, and as well, the big one being Rooster in this film, the son of Goose, and you know, he's played by Miles Teller in this film. And you know, I thought Rooster and Maverick, you know, this whole kind of arc in the film, was just so well done. I just love how that kind of underlying at first, you know, bitterness, really, that anger, you know, from especially, you know, Miles Teller, you know, his character of Rooster, you know, turns in the end to this, you know, great friendship. And in the end, yeah, the characters are kind of seen eye to eye, and they've rescued each other, kind of thing. And you know, I think just the way that kind of plays out, you know, it really is something else. It's so moving, and you know, feel good as well. And you know, I think just all of the characters that are in this film, you know, the banter between all the kind of, yeah, you know, the Top Gun graduates, and you know, the beach scene, you know, it's just such a great moment. And you know, I think, yeah, just throughout, you know, how we're introduced to the characters, and you know, they're all kind of likable. They've all got their own traits as well. You know, where kind of some of them are quite annoying to each other, and you know, kind of teasing each other, and you know, just the banter, that whole kind of warmth, and you know, the sense of camaraderie is just so perfectly done at times in this film. And you know, I think, yeah, I really just you know, enjoyed all of the characters in this film. And you know, I think Jennifer Connelly as well as Penny, you know, I thought she was great in this film, and I really love this romance in the film. And you know, something that just, you know, really, you know, kind of human in the way it's done. And you know, I think yeah, just feel good as well. And you know, something I really rooted for, you know, in this film. And you know, it's something that as well did not take away, you know, from the rest of the film and the main mission. And we've got quite a lot of side characters coming into this, you know, coming and going, kind of thing. And quite a lot of, yeah, you know, stuff going on in this film, as well as the main mission and the training sequences. And I think just the way this is directed by Joseph Kosinski, you know, it just is a testament to that. You know, it's just so well directed, so well edited, you know, the flow of it, you know, I think, and the balance between different kind of elements, you know, the plot, the action, and you know, I think all the characterization and how the narrative unfolds and culminates in the end. We've not got any moments in this film where, you know, I think it's kind of unnecessary. And you know, I think just we have really this culmination in the end where all of the threads of the narrative wrap up so well that I think there's nothing that doesn't, you know, come together in such a great way, really, in the end. And you know, I think that's great to see. And you know, it's just yeah, real kind of fist pumping, you know, kind of epic finale. This one, and the final scene was just something that once again it just made me smile so much. And you know, so upbeat and jolly, this one. And you know, I think really intense. So you know, that final act was something else when I was watching it again. It's so on edge. And you know, I think just all of the details though is because the build up, you know, and all the details we're aware of, you know, this mission over the course of the film. And then because things go wrong, you know, in this, and it doesn't go according to their plan, of course, which could have happened, but we were kind of so invested in, really as an audience, the details of the plan, and you know, the kind of the whole sequence here, the timing of it all, you know, every single element here. Not too many details, but enough to kind of get, you know, fully wrapped up in this and drawn in. But because the mission is not entirely successful at first, and there is issues obviously in that final act for the characters, you know, Maverick and Rooster as well, you know, the characters that we've come to know and love, of course. And Maverick is someone who, you know, just you know, when I was seeing this, I didn't think he would die, you know, I didn't think he would you know, kind of perish in this moment, you know, in the final act. You know, I never really thought, you know, Tom Cruise in this film would you know, kind of be unsuccessful in the end, but I think it was still really, you know, kind of intense and touch and go there. And I didn't know at first, especially, you know, what would happen to these characters, and how things would go down, you know, once they kind of, you know, there's crash landings and all this, and we've got that kind of gunship, you know, as well, coming after Tom Cruise, you know, there. It's just so intense. And, you know, I think, yeah, it was just something that, once again, seeing it is just such a kind of well put together film. You know, the action, just the direction, as I say, you know, it's just spot on here, and just the, you know, the visuals to this film, the cinematography, it's just something else to look at. You know, I think the colours, you know, the details to this, and you know, all the flight sequences to this are absolutely masterful. You know, I think the action is so visceral and you know, so practical as well. It's just something to behold, and you know, I think, you know, real kind of hats off to everyone involved in this. You know, because the action is just stunning. Some of the best kind of modern action that I've ever seen. It's just so fun and kind of you know, investing this, and yeah, just all the flight sequences. You know, just so kind of wrapped up in, and you know, just it's a thrill ride, this film, and you know, Maverick as well. You know, I think especially, you know, it's just even better in this film, and really one of the best modern characters in a film for me. And you know, I think, as I say, just all of the characters in this film though, and supporting cast members, it's just such a charm to this, you know, feel good kind of nature of it, and as well some real sad moments in the film. Iceman, obviously, we have to say, you know, his death in the film, you know, that was really sad, and Val Kilmer in this film was so great, and that, you know, main sequence there where they kind of have that dialogue, you know, Iceman and of course Maverick there, you know, that was so kind of emotional, and it definitely you know, kind of was something that I thought was so well handled in this film, so sincere, and yeah, just you know, something that was you know, really human in the way it was done. And yeah, from start to finish, this is just a film full of magic, you know, heart and humanity, and you know, I think as well, such thrilling action set pieces that kind of build upon each other, and you know, I think the way the film flows, the way it's directed, edited, you know, scored in the film as well. You know, I think the music is absolutely stunning. Obviously, bring back you know, parts of the score and the theme, of course, you know, from the first Top Gun, but also building on that, and you know, actually, I think I do prefer, you know, the score in this film to the original, and you know, I think just various different pieces of music and songs and that are used in the film as well. You know, it's just so great, and you know, I think, yeah, it's just such a stunning film, this, and you know, it really is a true spectacle of a blockbuster, and yeah, just one of my favourite films in the last kind of 5 years or so, and you know, I think it truly is something to behold, and yeah, overall my rating for this film is a 98%, so an extremely high score from me, and you know, I think this is just such a great film, and you know, I loved it from start to finish, and you know, I enjoyed it even more the second time round. Seeing it on 4K as well was something else. It just has a look and feel to it that's just so magical, and you know, I think just the whole kind of experience of this is definitely, you know, more of a kind of classic blockbuster feel, and you know, I think that's just great to see, and it's just so feel good, so upbeat, this one, but very emotional at times, and very kind of moving, and you know, quite sad in places, and you know, I think the way it builds on the first one, as I've said, but you know, how it's its own unique thing, this one, and it kind of doesn't feel off, you know, compared to the first, but it just feels completely you know, different as well, and it's not in the sense that it lacks, you know, the authenticity, and you know, it's definitely, you know, tributing the first film, but it is, you know, it's very much its own thing, and you know, I think it's just so well done in that sense, and just the performances across the board, as I say, you know, I think Miles Teller in this film, Glen Powell as well, and you know, of course, Tom Cruise in this one, you know, Val Kilmer, John Hamm, you know, all the characters, all the performances are just so great, and you know, I think just the chemistry between all these, you know, kind of characters as well, you know, how we have this banter, this you know, warm camaraderie as well, you know, it's just so kind of upbeat and jolly in this one, and you know, really funny as well throughout, and you know, the balance of comedy and you know, drama in this, it's just a great tone, and as I say, the direction is just spot on, and this is definitely one of my favourite modern blockbusters, and you know, film that I just love from start to finish. It's just the action in this film is unbelievable. You've got so many kind of you know, thrilling sequences in this, and you know, I think just the way the mission is done, and you know, how we have this kind of whole plan, you know, throughout the film, and just all the details and getting so invested in this, it's just something I was blown away by again, and you know, I think, as I say, the second time round it was an even better experience for me, and as I say, just such a spectacle, this one, and one that is also very human, and yeah, it's just the one from start to finish that I had such a great time with again, and it's just such a thrilling film, such a magical film, and you know, real kind of callback, as I said, you know, to kind of classic blockbusters, and yeah, Top Gun Maverick, it's just certainly one of my favourite films of the last 5 years. So yeah, that's my thoughts. What do you think on this film? It'd be great to hear in the comments your thoughts on this. It'd be really cool to discuss this film, your experience with this film. How does it compare for you to the original film, the original Top Gun from '86? It'd be great to discuss this all in the comments down below, and to celebrate cinema. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.